Hello, sir. Good morning.
Morning, Mahesh. Good morning, sir. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Sorry, I was on a call. Good
Morning, sir.
morning. Okay. Just wait for one more minute. I'm not sure why a lot of people haven't joined today, but we'll go ahead. Whoever has joined. So today we are going to learn about a very important part in Linux called as shell scripting. Okay. So we are not going to go into the very depths of it, but I will show you the high level, commands and constructs uh, based on which, you can write really complex scripts, but we will, refrain from, doing anything advanced as of now. Okay. So just give me a moment. Sharing my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir. You can
Yes,
see.
sir.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So the first thing that you'll have to understand about shell scripting is the way we used to write, programming language code. The constructs of a shell script are also the same. Okay. You will have if conditions, while conditions, then certain commands to execute. Okay. And all of that. But what we need to concentrate upon is what are the commands that we are going to use inside that shell script, basically these Linux or Unix commands, and how we are going to actually create that script and execute that script. So we are going to focus our attention on those parts first. Okay. And once we understand those parts, then whatever you write inside the script, it's a very easy thing to do because you already know this. Okay. There is not much to learn new here. Okay. So we will start with just creating a small script. Okay. So we'll start with this example itself. So we want to just print the username, but not as a command, but as a script. Okay. And this is called as a shell script because it is going to run at the shell prompt. Okay. The bash shell that we have. So we are going to run there. And in any programming language or script, you know that whenever a line is starting with this symbol called hash, okay, then that line is a comment, right? It does not get executed. So here in this particular small script, what they are saying is we are going to use the bash shell and we are going to use the echo command to print a variable. Yesterday we have learned about variables, right? Predefined variables. So they are going to just print this variable called user. Okay. So today, instead of going to killer coda, I will use my own Mac's terminal to do this. Okay. Here we go. And so that it's faster and we are saving time. Just a minute. Okay. So yesterday I was researching a little bit about Proxmox on my MacBook. So that's why you see this. Anyways, we'll do this a little later. I'll go back to root. So that's cd root. All of you are able to see the commands clearly, or should I increase the font a little bit more?
No, sir, you can.
Can see?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the username, my username, and the present working directory. We are in the root, and I do ls minus al. We get all the uh, default directories that are there inside. Okay. Now what we will do is we will create a file. Okay. First we'll create a directory. So I'll say mkdir, and we'll say mm, test temp. Okay. Oh, so put to super user. Hmm? Just a minute. Strange. It's not allowing me. Something wrong. Let us go back to Killer Coda. So I put lot of security controls on my Mac so that hacking and all doesn't happen. So maybe because of that. Okay. So we are here. Isn't working directory is this. I go back here and I say make dir test temp. Yes. And we see the folder created here, test temp. Okay, the directory is created. So we will go to current directory. In that zip directory, test temp. Okay. Now, how do we create a file? So we need to use an editor, text editor, like how you use Notepad in Windows, Notepad or WordPad. Similarly, in Linux, there is an editor called VI. Okay, VI. VI is a text editor, and the same text editor actually can be used to create a file. Okay, so test shell script. Okay, dot sh. I'm going to, this is too long, so and just say script.sh. Okay. Typically, any shell script that we are writing, we will denote it with a um, prefix called .sh. Okay. It's not mandatory, but it helps us and the system to identify that this is actually a shell script and it can be executed. Okay, if required. So this is how we will do it. We will keep the file extension as .sh. Okay. Once we go in, this is called as the VI editor, and we can start editing. To start editing, we have to use the insert, which is I. Once we put I, it will allow us to start typing. And as I said earlier, this is our first shell script. This is just a comment. Then I press enter. Here I will start using commands. So echo, what was our first command? What did we want to do? Hello user. So we will put in quotes and we'll say hello dollar user and close this. After we have completed our script in VI editor, in order to save and close, we use colon, no, first escape, then colon WQ exclamation. Okay, colon WQ exclamation. Then we come out of the this one, and once I come out and print this, we get the content what we have written inside the VI editor. Okay, any questions until now? VI is the command to open a text editor, just like Notepad in Windows. Any shell script, we typically want to denote it with a file extension .sh so that we easily identify that this is a shell script. Okay. And in order to edit any file, we use this VI editor. Once we go into the VI editor, we can type all the commands that we want and it will get saved inside that particular file after we finish editing. Okay. Then we can use the cat command to see what is the content of the file that we have just now written. And this is what we had written inside our shell script. The first line any line which starts with a hash is a comment. So we just put a comment like this. This is our first shell script. And this is the actual Linux or Unix command which is going to get executed, which is echo. Echo means we just printing. And what are we printing? We are printing the word hello space and then dollar user. What is dollar user? Dollar is a predefined operating system environment variable, right? And yesterday we had seen that we can use these environment variables independently or inside a script, and many of these environment variables we can also change their values. Okay, now is the time to execute that script, execute this command. Okay, now in order to execute, first we have to see, okay, whether this shell script has got execute permissions or not. If you see here, when we see the permissions, do we have the execute permissions here? What do you see? Can anybody tell me?
Only
Does
read, sir.
this? Oh, yes, correct. The user has read write, okay, whereas the group has read only permission and others have read only permission, which means we cannot run this script just like that, okay. And the way to test it is any script can be run by just calling the file name. So you don't need any other command in Linux or Unix to actually run a script. Just you call the file name on the command prompt. If it has execute permissions, it will run. Okay. Dot means current directory, dot slash. So inside the current directory, we want to run this script called as testscript.sh. Okay. Now when I enter this, see it says permission denied. Okay. Why? Execute permission is not there on this particular file. Okay. Now, what is the command to change permission on a particular file or a directory? Can anybody tell me?
chmod.
Correct. So we are going to use chmod command, okay, to change the permissions. Now, Where do you want to change the permission using that UGO plus or minus RWX, or you want to use numbers?
We can use numbers and as well as yeah also, sir.
Correct. We can use both. I prefer to use numbers, so I will go by that. So I'll say 7, 4, 4. Okay. So for group and others, I will leave it as read only. I'm not going to change anything. 4 is for read, 2 is for write, and 1 is for execute, right? So when I say 4, 4 is read only. So I'll leave that and I'll give file name like this. Okay, done. Now let us see if the permission has changed for this. Yes, now we have execute permission. Okay, and you can also see the color has changed. Okay, the color of the script file has changed. And now let us run this same command. Okay, so in order to run a shell script, we have to do nothing but just call the file name, right? So here, got it. It has run, and whatever was the command inside the shell script. What was the command? This was our command, right? Echo means to print hello. So did it print hello? Yes, it printed hello. Okay. And whatever is the content of this variable, environment variable called $user, right? So the same has been printed here. So let us cross verify. So if I just put $echo $user here, I should get the same this value, and that is what we got. So this is how we need to execute a shell script. Okay, I will repeat the entire process once again. So first we have to create a script. Okay, the way we create a script is by using a text editor like VI, just like how you use Notepad or WordPad in Windows. VI is the text editor that is used in Unix or Linux, okay, that allows us to do editing of normal files, okay. Generally, a shell script, we will denote it by the file extension .sh, okay. After putting in the content in the file through the editor called VI, and once we save and come out of it, we can see the content of that file by using the cat command. And when we gave the cat command against this file, these are the two lines of script that we had entered in our file, and this is what it is showing. Then we did ls minus al in our present working directory, which is this. Okay, we created this directory, and we saw that this file called testscript.sh, which is our first shell script, got created. But by default, this file does not have any execute permissions, either for user or for group or for others. And hence, when we wanted to execute that shell script, it said permission denied. Okay. How do we execute a shell script? You simply call the file name. Okay. Just like in Windows, how do you execute a Windows executable file? Just you double click on any .exe file, right? Simple. The same way in Unix or Linux also. You don't have to do anything special. Just call the file name, okay, in the command prompt, and if it has execute permission, it will get executed. But we see here that execute permission was not there on this file, and hence it gave us an error saying that permission denied. Then we used our chmod command, which we learned earlier a couple of classes back, how we can change the permission on a particular file. And instead, since we are an advanced user now, instead of using ugo plus and then rwx, we simply used these numbers. What do these numbers denote? 4 is read, 2 is write, and 1 is execute. So 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. So 7 means read, write, and execute permission for user. The first integer is for user. The second integer is for group. 4 means read only. So we want to keep it as read only. So we are entering 4 here. Last integer is for others. There also we want read only as the permission, and we keep it 4. So our permission will become 744. And on which file? On this particular file, testscript.sh. Once we successfully executed this chmod command, again we did ls-al, and now we see versus the previous permissions on this. Now we see that rwx permission has been granted to this particular file after using chmod command, and that is when we see the color also changing. Then the same command that we had used earlier to execute that file, that same command we ran here. And once we did that, our command got successfully executed, and whatever was the command inside that shell script, it got executed, and we even tested it outside the script, the same command, we are getting the same output, okay? And which means that our shell script was successfully created and executed. Any questions on this? Now we'll get into a little bit more complicated, uh, you know, uh, scripts. Any questions? It's very simple. Any questions?
Also,
Okay, okay, fine. Now let us go into a little bit more. Okay, so now we are trying to understand that this user, okay, has how many login sessions. Okay, this user has how many login sessions. We want to print that. Okay, now we understood couple of classes back that we can set our own variables also in the system. Okay, but when we do our own variables, those our own variables are limited to our own shell session. Okay, so this num logins is a variable that we are creating inside the script. What we are going to do, who is the number of all the users will get printed. Okay, who am I is just the logged in user. Then you are going to grep, and in between we are using piping. So whatever is the output of this command will form as the input of the next command in the pipe. So the next command is grep. What does grep do? It's like a filter, right? And it is filtering for whom? It is filtering for this value called $user. What is $user? The current user who is logged in, right? And then pipe the output at WC. WC is word count, okay? And minus L list, okay? So let us try this command, this script, and let's see how it works. So we'll modify the same script. So I'll use the VI editor again, VI space, and I use file name to open editor script.sh. This is what we had written. So we have to press the button I to start writing. So I press the button I and moving the cursor now, pressing enter to start. So we are going to create a variable called numLogins is equal to dollar, then who pipe grep $user, then word count list, then close bracket. Okay, simple. Then echo this user $user has logged in to call the variable again $num logins. Okay, whatever user defined variable you have created, dollar num logins times. Okay, this is what we are printing. Understood this script? Okay, so we are printing the current user who is logged in. Then we are creating one variable. In that variable, we are going to see how many times a particular user has logged in to this particular shell, and the output of the commands inside the bracket are going to be stored in the variable called num logins. And in the third line, we are printing those values. Okay, we are printing the username and we are printing the variable that we just created. Okay, simple. Now to save and exit from this, you have to press colon, first press escape. After escape, colon WQ exclamation. Okay, WQ exclamation and press enter. It will get saved. Okay, now to see what we have saved, we use the cat command. Okay, press enter. Okay, so whatever we had entered inside that file, the same thing has been displayed to us here with the cat command. Now, can anyone tell me, should I change the permission using chmod command again or not required? Do we need to use the chmod command again or not required?
Not a question.
Okay, how will we check? How will we check required or not required?
We're using ls minus l.
That is one way. So we do a directory listing or list of files again, ls-al. If you see the execute permission already assigned to this file, then no need to use chmod command again because we had modified the same file. As you can see, already execute permission is there on this file. Okay. So how to run the shell script now? How to
By
run
using
the
a cat command.
Hmm. By using what?
Cat command.
Sorry,
Cat command, sir.
no. Cat command is only to display, which we have already done here. Cat is only to display, but we have to execute the script. No, whatever is the commands we have put inside the script, it should run as a program. So what did we do earlier? To run any script, we have to just call the script. Okay, calling the script means just entering the file name of that script on the command prompt, nothing else. Okay, I'm just clearing the screen. Okay, see, cat command only display the content of the file like this. Okay, it is not going to run the script actually. To run and execute that script, we have to just call the file name. That's it. I don't even need to use dot slash because we are already in that folder. I can simply enter the file name in the command prompt like this. Enough. Oh, sorry. If we do this, it will not understand that. Okay. See, got it. Okay. This is how we need to execute a shell script. Okay. So you can write whatever you want inside that shell script and it will get executed. Okay. Hence, we have to be really careful while creating shell scripts because they are very powerful. Okay. Now, this is a for loop. Okay. Where after for you can give a condition. Okay. And if the condition is met, then whatever is written between do and done, okay, it will do it. Just like how you used to write in programming languages. So here they are trying to see for a particular user in a particular session, okay, how many times that person has logged in. But this is a very script where a lot of users are required. So we will do a much simpler one like this. Okay. We'll use an integer and we'll print that integer. Okay. Let us try this. So again, we go to our VI editor, script.sh. This is what is there. Now I press I command inside. I means insert to start editing. So I press I. Then I move my cursor and start deleting all this. Okay, and we write this command for n in 1/2/3/6 do echo loop number. The variable is I. Here we have used $n. Okay, and I'll add an additional command which is sleep, and I'll say sleep for 3 seconds before printing the next one. Done. Okay, that's it. Then I press escape, then colon W Q exclamation to save and exit. colon WQ exclamation. Yes. Cat. Okay. This is our shell script. Run this. Okay. How to execute? Just call the file name on the command prompt. See, it will sleep, print, sleep, print, sleep, print, sleep. Done. Simple. Got it? Any questions? Any questions on how to
No, sir.
write this script and how to execute it? Very simple, right? So all you need to understand is how to put in shell commands inside the script. Okay. You can even create a list like this. Instead of typing all the commands, you can use these curly brackets and you can just use dot dot and say from this number to this number. It will count that many times. Okay. You can also use another sub command called as sequence, SEQ, and you can do increments in zero point 0.5 also. So like this. Okay. So 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, like that also you can do. So this is called as a sequence. So you can use the for loop with complete list like this inside a curly bracket or inside normal bracket. You can use sequence also and you can specify the increments also by how many increments it should go for the next one. Okay, like this there are many variations. We can use that. We also have if then else statements, just like how we do in programming languages. Okay, where if a condition is met, then do this. If that condition is not met, else do something else. Okay, and every if loop has to be closed with f if fi, reverse of if. Okay, this indicates the closure. Similarly, for the for loop, what was the closure? Do, done. This is the start of the for, this is the end of the for, and after for whatever you put, that is the condition. Okay, for so many times or as long as that condition is met. In if, it is like this. If, then you put in square brackets and you put in your condition, and if this condition is met, then whatever is written between then and else, okay, that will get executed. If this condition is not met, then whatever is there between else and end of if, that will get executed. Okay, very simple, right? So all these shell scripting exercises are already there in the uh, tutorial that I have given you. So kindly practice them in Killer Coda. Okay. Any questions? And as and when we get into some complex stuff, we will do more complicated shell scripts. But this was the basics of shell scripts. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? No?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, now is the time to do some practicals from your side. So, who can be a volunteer? So, Bhanu Teja was volunteer for 2 to 3 days. He showed us on his laptop how we can install Hyper-V. Okay. And inside Hyper-V, he showed us how we can create a Linux virtual machine. We saw the installation of Linux operating system, Red Hat Linux operating system version 9 inside that virtual machine. Then he also showed us how to create another virtual machine and have Windows installed on it. So on his laptop now, so many virtual machines are running. Earlier, his laptop was having only one machine, right? One Windows 10 or Windows 11 machines. Now he has three to four, VMs on his same hardware. Okay, so that's how powerful hypervisor is. But since Windows was the base operating system, he used Hyper-V. Now we are going to use Proxmox. Okay, Proxmox is a Unix-based hypervisor. So who has the USB stick ready? Okay, and can be the volunteer? Anand, great. You want to be the volunteer, Anand? You have your laptop, USB stick, everything ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have you downloaded the ISO files?
Oh, no, sir.
Uh, so who has downloaded the ISO files? Can you download them, please? In the OneDrive link that I had shared. I saw only one person download it. See, I keep a track of who is doing what with the class. I see who is logging in to see the videos. I see who is logging in to download the files. Okay. So I keep a track of all that. Only one person has downloaded the files till date. How about the others? No one?
Sir, I have I have already downloaded it and using
Okay.
in VMware. So
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So you
yeah,
have installed Proxmox inside VMware?
no. I have VMware license got from my one of my friend.
Hmm.
So through the ISO, I installed it in my VMware. Both Windows and Linux I have already in my PC.
Oh, wonderful, Hari. Excellent.
Yeah.
So I wanted one volunteer who wants to do it for the first time along with us, who has the USB stick, who has downloaded the ISO images. Then we can, you know, uh, work with that person. Anyone? Okay, who wants to take it up and we'll do it on Monday? Anand, can you do it? Mahesh?
I can
Okay.
say.
Okay, great. So Mahesh, you have it ready now or we'll do it on Monday?
I will leave the number. Sir.
Okay,
My
okay.
laptop is not working properly, so today.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so make sure that you back up all your contents of the laptop. Okay, whoever wants to try along with us also, back up all your contents to maybe Google Drive or another external hard disk or something, just in case. Okay, do a full backup. Okay, and then have the USB stick ready. Don't put Proxmox on it right now. Have it blank. Okay, blank USB stick ready. All right, and keep your phone also logged into our class separately so that whenever we are doing a reboot of your system, you are still logged into the class. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so yeah, so have log into the class through the phone and have the laptop separately ready so that you can try the installation of Proxmox on your laptop. And over this weekend, please do a full backup of your laptop just in case. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, one more thing I wanted to announce today is all of you are, learning, joining in every day. That's fine. Okay. But I really want to see how much you people have learned. Okay. So by around Wednesday coming week, we will be finishing our Linux, practicals and everything because we have learned all the basics. I'm not saying that we have learned a lot of advanced stuff, just the basics we have learned. Okay. So coming Friday, that means next Friday, we are going to have an online quiz. Okay, online quiz on everything that we have learnt in Linux so far. Okay, now this online quiz will be done on a app called Kahoot, where you will be required to enter your answers, okay, through the mobile app. I will give you all the instructions. Now, the best part about Kahoot is um, fastest finger gets the more points. That means whoever answers faster gets more points. Okay. And I will start conducting such tests every 2 weeks, especially for people who are still yet to get a job. Please treat this as a golden opportunity, okay, for you to assess your skills, because I will consolidate all the performance of these tests and also some practicals that I will be giving, okay, and that will be the criteria for me to see whether I can hire you in my company or not, okay. So please take these tests seriously and make sure you prepare well by going through all the classes, doing all the practicals all by yourself, because trust me, I am not going to give an easy one. Okay, it's going to be difficult, it is going to be tricky. So, the more you practice, the more you go through the material, the more you go through the videos and pay attention, the better. So, I'm giving you approximately 1 week of time to go through lesson number one till the last or the latest session in Linux. Kindly go through them well and make sure you prepare yourself well for the next exam or the first exam on Friday. Okay. And it will not be just multiple choice questions, which you are probably used to. Okay. I will ask you to write and type commands. Okay. And I'll check who has written it the correct in the first attempt. Okay. So these are the things that I will request you to do uh, in coming Friday. So on Monday, we are going to see installation of another hypervisor apart from Hyper-V, which is called as Proxmox. Okay. So do some reading on Proxmox. There is one more installable that I had put there called Elena. So whoever wants to install Proxmox on Windows, that Elena is required. Okay. That is to make your USB stick a bootable USB stick. Okay. So that is needed. All right. Any questions? Any doubts? Okay, fine. So we are going to stop here today. Please do your practice well and start preparing yourself for the first assessment coming Friday. Okay, I'll keep putting this as a reminder every day from now on. All right. Thank you so much for your time today. We will meet again on Monday. Yes, take this up as a challenge and do well. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.